Greetings. Welcome back to my channel, Ham Radio Test and Review. My name is Dave. I live in Prescott, Arizona. My call sign is N8DAV with my name and my call sign. I have a motto for this channel, and it is one test is worth 1,000 expert opinions. So kick back, relax, and let's get started on our Stubby antenna series of testing. Today's video, we are going to be testing and reviewing a soft, flexible, rubberized stubby antenna called a CiCi Glow. That's CiCiGlow, CiCi Glow. The model number is an SF-20. Now there's lots and lots of SF-20 model antennas on Amazon. So they're made by several different manufacturers, or actually probably just one manufacturer, and marketed by several different companies. So I do have another one, I believe, that I'll be testing also in one of the next videos. So kick back and relax, hang on just a second, and I'll come back with the specifications. But before I do, here is the antenna. I've got a little label on it. It does have a BNC connector, and the packaging, very plain. However, it does have a few little tidbits on a label that's stuck to this generic piece of packaging here. And I'll go through that in just a few minutes with you. Just kick back and relax. I'll be right back. All right, here's the specifications for the CiCi Glow model SF-20. Now, this is really, truly a copy of some other antenna. It could be an Abri copy or a Nagoya copy. I'm assuming it's a Nagoya copy. They specify that it's a dual band antenna, 2 meters, 70 centimeter. It's exactly 2 5/8 inches long. It's, of course, soft, rubber, and flexible, very flexible. With this particular case has got the BNC connector on it. And it's specified by the factory as a 50 ohm impedance with less than 1.5 to 1 SWR. It's stated that it's a maximum of 10 watt input. The gain on it, I don't believe any of these gain claims, but they do claim 2.15 dB. So, yeah. Anyway, so I paid, what did I pay for this? I paid $8.99 for it. That's one of the lowest prices on Amazon. So you can check that out for yourself when you go out there. It is still for sale as of today, which is May 14th. All right. When I come back, we're going to get started on testing the CiCiGlow SF-20 stubby, flexible rubber antenna. All right, here we are. We've got the CiCiGlow SF-20 antenna set up on the test bed. I have my power SWR meter set up here, and we're going to do the first test of SWR on the 2 meter band. And we have an SWR of 1.03 and 4.43 power output. All right, our next test is going to be on the 70 centimeter band. And here we go. SWR 2.33 at 3.03 watts. And of course, we never forget our GMRS fans. We're going to test the CiCiGlow SF-20 antenna on the GMRS channel 16. And we have an SWR of 1.03, power output of 2.91 watts. Okay, next up, we're going to submit the antenna to a nano VNA, and we'll see what kind of SWR curve we get on our nano VNA for the CiCiGlow SF-20. I'm going to turn it on, and it'll be set automatically for the first calibration, which is the 2 meter band. And oh, we got a very interesting curve here. At the center of the band, we have an SWR at 146 megahertz of 1.334. Very, very nice. The next test we're going to do is on the 70 centimeter band. And yeah, we got a interesting curve here. And at the center of the band, at 435, we have 3.096 at 435 megahertz. All right, and now we're going to test on the GMRS band. And at the center of the band, 465 megahertz, we have 1.660. Okay, the field strength meter test allows us to see how strong the signal is coming out of the antenna over a distance. The distance is prescribed, the sensitivities are set up a certain way on the meter, and the power on the radio is set to high. So let's do our first test on the 2-meter band. Next, we do our test on the 70-centimeter band. And last but not least, we're going to do our test on the GMRS channel 16. All right, we're out here at the park. This park is set specifically up for me to do my testing for these stubby antennas. It's approximately 1/4 to 3/8 of a mile away from my home, at my base station. I have 2 homes, an outbuilding, and some power lines, and also I'm underneath a metal gazebo awning. All things that could possibly affect the transmission and reception of these small type stubby antennas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a transmission to my base station, which I have a simplex parrot style repeater set up on. And so we'll see what kind of a signal we get back, and let's see how it sounds. This is NADAV. I'm testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing the CiCiGlow SF-20 antenna. This is NADAV. I'm testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing the CiCiGlow SF-20 antenna. So as you can hear, the transmission and reception were very, very good with this antenna. There was very little static coming through. Just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of sizzle in there that you could just barely hear. It really took me quite a bit to actually hear it. So I'm just going to say that this antenna is working rather well in this particular case. So we've got good conditions today. So I'm hoping that when I come back, back in the ham shack, we'll be able to sit down and analyze all the test results that we have, and we'll come up with an opinion as to what we think about this antenna. Be right back. All right, I'm back here at my ham shack, and I'm going to say or ask, what have we learned about this antenna today, the CiCiGlow SF-20? Well, first of all, we did do the SWR test using the power SWR meter, and we came up with excellent SWR on the 2-meter band and on the GMRS band, which is very, very odd, and I'll tell you why I think that's odd in just a minute. And then we came up with a SWR of 2.33 on the 70-centimeter band. Now, I've told you in previous videos that most of these antennas, especially these highly compromised antennas that these stubby antennas are, they're usually tuned for either the 2-meter band or for the 70-centimeter band. If they're tuned for the 70-centimeter band, they usually have a decent SWR on the 70-centimeter, of course, and then usually either okay or good on the GMRS band, since it's so close to the 70-centimeter band. However, in this particular case, we ended up with a great SWR on the 2-meter band and a great SWR on channel 16 of the GMRS band, which is very odd. So I'm going to go through the numbers here very, very specifically with you. Now, on the SWR power meter, we got an SWR of 1.03. And with the nano VNA, we got an SWR of 1.334. Now, a nano VNA is always a little bit higher than the SWR meter. I'm attributing that to better accuracy from the nano VNA. The difference between 1.03 and 1.3 is really not great enough to say that something is way off. I can't say that at all. The 70 centimeter reading for the SW power meter was 2.33, and for the nano VNA it was 3.0. Again, the nano VNA is always a little bit higher, and it wasn't that far off. I'm sorry, not, yes, sorry about that. I was right, 3.0. To me, 3.0 is about as maximum as high as you want to go for an HT antenna. Once again, it's pretty obvious that this antenna was tuned for the 2-meter band and not for the 70 centimeter band. So I think the nano VNA reading being a little high above the power meter just goes to show that the SWR power meter reading was a little bit off. I really do believe that the nano VNA is a lot more accurate. Now, here's where we come up with a very odd thing. The nano VNA came up with, on the GMRS band, 1.7, 1.66 actually. So, that's actually rather good. And we came up with 1.03 on the SWR power meter. So what's going on here? Well, I think what's going on here is that there might be some other factors here that we may not be able to we may not see. Basically, it could be some coax issues. It might be um, some spurious signal issues going on here. I'm not really quite sure. But I do have to say that both of those readings are very good for GMRS. So um, as far as SWR is concerned, I would think that this is an antenna that if you're going to be using mostly either on the 2-meter band or on the GMRS band, that you might really consider this antenna, especially as cheap as it is. If you're going to be using this on the 70 centimeter band a lot, I would look elsewhere for a different antenna that has a lower SWR and a little bit better performance on the 70 centimeter band. But some of us use 2-meter almost exclusively, and a lot of us use GMRS almost exclusively. So this antenna might be pretty good for you, even for an all-around good antenna. Now, here's where the interesting thing happened, and that is with the field strength meter readings. We came up with a plus 3.1 dB on the 2-meter band. That's very good. That's just about as high as my meter goes. On the average, on the better antennas that were also tuned for 2-meter, I got very similar readings. On the 70 centimeter, though, it came out just about average without all the other antennas that were not so that were just average on the 70 centimeter band as well. So anything that had about a 2.5 to a 3.0 SWR had about the same field strength meter reading. What was very odd, though, was that the GMRS band was a little bit lower than some of the other GMRS, I'm sorry, was it just a tad bit higher than some of the other GMRS readings, but close to average of all the other antennas. So on average, I would say this is doing better than average on the 2-meter band, just average on the 70 centimeter band, and just average on the GMRS band. All right, so that's what we learned today. Again, my name is Dave. I live in Prescott, Arizona. My call sign is N8DAV. I have a motto, and that's one test is worth 1,000 expert opinions. And you got as many expert opinions as you could get today. 73s to you, and so long.